My second ever triathlon. Alright, so check this out. This is actually my first triathlon I did. Going back some time now, 2017, Langport Triathlon, and this is on British Triathlon. So you can still see the results, which is a shame. And I was right near the back of the field, like really right near the back. So this is me here, came in position of 274th. Yeah, it's just awful. My overall time was 1 hour and 48. And what really let me down is basically I couldn't swim. I couldn't breathe, couldn't swim at all. I was having to stop at the end of every length. I was going fairly quick per length, but I had to stop to breathe. And you can see it took me 28 minutes and 14 seconds just to do 400 meters. So even Anne Seeley, who came in behind me, she did the swim in 10 minutes 42. And my swim was 28:14. So really, man, Jesus Christ, I just could not swim. It was awful. And my partner always tells the story of her watching it and how she found it so difficult. And there was a lifeguard following me alongside the pool because I was that terrible. But yeah, anyway, I gave it a bash. I knew it was going to be a challenge and I knew it was going to be horrific. But I thought I'd be okay on the bike and the run. So yeah, so stage 2, which is the bike, that was 48 minutes, and then stage 3, which is the run, 26 minutes and 35 seconds. That's a 5k run, and I think it was like a 22.5k bike. So pretty awful. And with that in mind, going into trying a triathlon again, same sort of distance, I just wanted to be comfortable in the water and get out the pool without dying, and hopefully a little bit quicker than 28 minutes. So today is Saturday, day before the triathlon, and Honiton Triathlon, sprint triathlon, and I had a swimming lesson on Thursday. So this morning I'm going to get in the pool and see if I can practice some of the tips that I was given on Thursday. Better late than never, right? I'm going to work on my touch turns, and I'm going to try breathing every 2 rather than every 3. So I have been bilaterally breathing, but I think every 2 will increase obviously my breathing frequency, which should help. But whether I can get these 2 things a little bit more efficient just by practicing them today, ready for tomorrow, who knows? Might not work, might still be rubbish in the swim, but we'll see. I've just got to get out of the pool alive, essentially, and then once I'm on the bike, I feel much more happy. So let's go give this a bash. All right, so I tried the swim and I tried the breathing every 2, and it felt terrible to start off with. Righty then, so this is all the kit that I've got for today. Yesterday I smashed through a massive pizza and cheesecake dessert, which was epic. So this morning I've just had half of that, which is a little bit of caffeine, a little bit of sugars, but I'm also going to have that 30 minutes beforehand, which is caffeine, arginine and beta-alanine. And then, so I've got my swim cap, the race belt, goggles, sunglasses, and then I've also got my tri-suit, my cycling shoes, running shoes with the elastic laces. Save me some seconds, free speed. And I've got my towel, just put on the floor in transition when I come out of the pool. And I've got the talc and Vaseline to put in the shoes because I'm not going to wear any socks. And I've obviously got the bike. Alrighty, so I've just registered. So I've got my numbers, my ankle chip, and they've written my numbers on me. So time to rack the bike. So how did I do then the second time round? A little bit of a race debrief. So it was Honiton Triathlon, which consisted of a 400-meter pool swim, then a 20k bike, an out and back, pretty flat course, and then a 5k run, which went through a bit of woodland, and there was some kind of ups and downs. But overall, a sprint distance triathlon. First of all, I've trained much better this time round, and I really focused on trying to get more comfortable with swimming. So I was swimming maybe 2 or 3 times a week for the past few months, and kept up with some cycling. I commute to work a fair bit, and I also kept up with some running. So my times were much better this time. So you can see me here, I actually did make it out of the pool alive, and I didn't feel too bad at this point. I was feeling pretty good, pretty fine. I wasn't massively happy with how I swam, although I thought the time was okay. I made lots of little mistakes. I got the swim cap on, all fine, but when I put the goggles on, the seal for the goggles was actually over the swim cap. So this meant as soon as I started swimming, I was letting in water straight away. And I was just like, this is terrible. I didn't know whether to stop and try and sort it out or just carry on. So I carried on probably for the first 300 meters, and then it was really getting in my way, and I couldn't see very well. So it meant all my touch turns and stuff were not particularly great. I didn't know how far or how close I was to the wall. So I sorted it out, and then it was a little bit better, but by that time I only had 100 meters left. Anyway, managed to get out of the pool. It took me around 11 minutes, which was kind of what I was aiming for. I wanted 10 minutes, but I would have been happy for anything under 12. And the bike was my strongest discipline, which is helpful because you're kind of at advantage if your strongest discipline is the bike, because it's the largest portion of the 3 different disciplines. And I averaged a speed of, I think it was like 32k an hour, which is the fastest I've ever gone really for that sort of distance. So that was really nice. And I finished the bike 20Ks in about 38 minutes, 37 minutes, I think it was. So coming back in after the bike, I was feeling pretty pumped really, and pretty fresh, just because I knew it was fairly quick, or it felt quick for me anyway. And I didn't feel exactly knackered or anything. So, you know, I felt I'd done a good job up until now. So it was just the run left. So I came back in, transitioned again, put the running shoes on, took my time again just to make sure I didn't really make any mistakes. And then off I went out onto the run. And the first K was fairly quick. It was exactly where I wanted it to be pace-wise, which was awesome. And then the second K, I kind of struggled a fair amount because there was a fairly steep section, or a couple of hilly sections, and that kind of put me back where I belong, a bit slower. And then coming towards the end of the run, I actually thought I had much longer left. I thought I had like another K left. When they said just run through the flags now, I was like, oh man, I was kind of saving the beans, saving the energy for a sprint finish. But I did pick up the pace for the last 400 meters, but I felt I still had a little bit in the tank. I would have kind of went a little bit earlier if I'd known the course. And I finished with a time of 1 hour and 15 overall. I had a slightly shorter bike, and obviously the run was a little bit different, but I wanted to get under an hour and a half for this one, and it was an hour and 15. So that was wicked. So overall, super happy with that, an hour and 15. I've definitely got a few takeaways, being that I probably should have done the course or done a recce of the course beforehand if I really wanted to try and get the best possible time. Knowing what I need to work on for the swim, I've got loads to work on there for the swim still, so I can definitely save a lot of time still on the swim. In terms of getting better on the bike, although it's my strongest discipline and I enjoy that one the most, I think I could have used aero bars, and that would have made a big difference in terms of how fast I was going for what power I was putting out. I think the guys that did a faster time on the bike, pretty much all of them I think had aero bars, and they're in a much more aerodynamic position. Put out kind of equal power, they would have faster average times just because they're more aerodynamic and they don't have that resistance. So that's something I'm going to look into if I then do another one. And for the run, I just need to get better at running. I need to run more if I want to get better at running. That's what it comes down to. So now it's time to kind of look at the next challenge, and I'm possibly thinking Olympic distance triathlon. But I've got a 100-mile cycle at the end of this month to prepare for, so I'm just going to be focused on cycling up until then, but I am going to keep the swimming going and trying to get technically a little bit better. Not really push the intensity or the volume or anything, but just practice it and try and get technically better. I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously slightly different to my other videos, all around trying to help you lose fat and get in shape and have a healthy lifestyle for the long term. But if you're interested in these sorts of videos, then let me know and I might record a few more if I do any other events. But until my next video, have a really good week and I'll see you on Tuesday.